video, I'll show you how to make these pumpkin spice crispy treats. It's a fast, simple recipe that takes about 10 minutes to prepare, and even if you're not very good in the kitchen, I promise you can pull off this festive spin on an old recipe. For this recipe, you'll need 6 cups of Rice Krispie cereal, 4 cups of marshmallows, 3 tablespoons of butter, half a teaspoon pumpkin pie spice, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, and a 1/4 cup of pureed pumpkin. You'll need a large pot and a baking dish, as well as a spoon and either paper towels, cheesecloth, or a nice clean hand towel, preferably not terry cloth. Cheesecloth, of course, will work best for this because you're going to use this to strain the liquid out of the pumpkin before you get started. If you don't strain the liquid out, the Rice Krispies end up being too moist and it messes up the whole recipe and they don't set up properly. So just place it into the cloth and squeeze out as much liquid as you can. If you don't have a cheesecloth or a non-terry cloth hand towel, make sure you layer up those paper towels so they don't break, and you should end up with something like this. If there's still quite a lot of moisture, you can even press down on it with paper towels like this or with your hand towel. Next, you're ready to start browning the butter. This step is optional, but I think when you brown the butter with this recipe, it adds a really nice nutty element to it. If you brown the butter, it really changes the flavor of the whole recipe, and it's really simple to do. You just let it froth up on the stove on medium-high heat, making sure that you're stirring it thoroughly so it doesn't burn, and when it gets nice and brown like this, you're ready to start adding the marshmallows. When you add the marshmallows, turn it down to medium heat, and keep stirring to make sure nothing gets burnt. You just don't want it to be sitting on the same spot in the bottom of the pan, and you'll want to keep stirring until all of the marshmallows melt and it's nice and smooth. Then you're ready to add the pumpkin. Stir in the pumpkin puree until it's nice and smooth and you've gotten all of the clumps out. Then you're ready to add the spices and stir that thoroughly. Make sure you get all of those clumps out before adding your Rice Krispies, and I like to add half at a time, otherwise it's a little bit difficult to stir. Just make sure that you get all of the cereal evenly coated and you don't have any clumps anywhere in your Rice Krispie treats, otherwise you could end up with a bite full of pumpkin or a clump of cinnamon, which is never fun. Then, once everything is evenly coated, transfer it into your baking dish. You can butter this if you want, but I find that it has enough butter that it's not usually a problem for me. Then press it into place with your hands and leave it to sit for at least 2 hours to cool. And once it's completely cool, go ahead and slice it up with a knife. You can use a rectangular baking dish or a square one like I did, depending on how thick you want the Rice Krispie treats to be. And just slice them into equal portions, then put them on a plate, and that's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe, and follow me on social media at Katrinaosity.